Good day, everyone, and welcome to The Breakdown with Asher Stone. Today, we're diving into an intense episode of Shawn Attwood's podcast, where hosts Wade and Tommy bring on the one and only Jaguar Wright. For those unfamiliar, Jaguar's known for her fearless takes on the music industry and her willingness to call out the biggest names on the scene. In this episode, she talks about high-profile figures like Diddy, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and even Oprah. You name it, she's got a take. And honestly, she doesn't hold back. This episode is about way more than just juicy celebrity gossip. It's about peeling back the layers of influence, power, and secrecy that some stars allegedly use to keep control over the industry and sometimes other people. So let's dive right into it. And remember, if you're intrigued, you can catch the full 4-hour podcast episode through the link in the description. The hosts start by setting the stage. They bring Jaguar on and let her roll with it. And she's ready. Here are some of the biggest takeaways, laid out like we're sitting down over coffee and chatting about what's going on behind closed doors in Hollywood. Jaguar Wright is quick to point out that in the music industry, influence and power often go hand in hand with secrets and scandal. She says it all the time. The bigger the star, the darker the secrets they're trying to keep. She's talked about figures like Diddy and Oprah, hinting that their influence goes way beyond what the public sees. According to her, their power isn't just about the music or talk shows. It's about who they can control, what they can hide, and how they can shift narratives to protect themselves and each other. In this particular episode, she dives deep into the kind of power moves that these celebrities allegedly pull off. From squashing rumors to protecting themselves from scandal, she suggests that some of these A-listers are experts at deflecting attention from their secrets. And she doesn't mince words. She even goes as far as suggesting some of these folks might be involved in some truly wild things, the kinds of secrets that Hollywood PR teams would never want to leak. Jaguar's got plenty to say about the people we all know and love, and it's not just about their music or acting. It's about the larger-than-life roles they play behind the scenes. Hidden agendas and secrecy. Now, if there's one thing Jaguar really focuses on, it's the idea of hidden agendas. She paints a picture of an industry that isn't just about selling music or tickets, but about shaping public opinion, and sometimes, unfortunately, using their power for more controversial ends. Jaguar mentions how celebrities seem to have an unusual amount of control over who succeeds and who disappears, and she wonders out loud, is it all as innocent as it seems? For instance, she brings up a conspiracy-laden anecdote involving Oprah. According to Jaguar, Oprah's influence allegedly extends far beyond the public eye. Wright goes as far as hinting that Oprah might be part of some elite club, though she never quite spells out what kind of club that is. Jaguar's idea is that there are certain high-profile stars who have reached a level of power where they don't just get to influence the entertainment world, but also have a say in other, sometimes more shadowy areas. It's clear from the way she talks that she sees these connections as both deeply entrenched and somewhat sinister. Number 3, celebrity feuds and gatekeeping. One of the more fascinating points Jaguar makes is about how celebrities tend to gatekeep. Not in the way people gatekeep their favorite shows or bands, but in a way that actually prevents certain talented artists from getting the recognition they deserve. She paints a picture of Hollywood as a kind of club where only certain people get in, and once you're in, the gatekeepers do everything in their power to make sure you play by their rules. And if you don't, according to her, you might just see your career stall, or worse, disappear altogether. Jaguar specifically mentions Jay-Z and Diddy as examples of powerful artists who play these gatekeeping roles. She suggests that they're less interested in nurturing new talent than they are in keeping the upper hand. It's a bit chilling to think about, really. The idea that the industry isn't just competitive, but actively hostile to newcomers who don't fall in line. For Jaguar, this isn't just about one or two celebrities holding the reins. It's about an entire system that props up these gatekeepers, making it next to impossible for anyone else to break through. One of the things that makes Jaguar such an engaging guest is her willingness to share her own experiences. She doesn't just talk about these celebrities as if she's on the outside looking in. She's lived through a lot of the things she's describing. Throughout the episode, she drops anecdotes about her own run-ins with the industry's power players, from awkward encounters to outright confrontations. It's clear that she feels a kind of obligation to speak out, to let people know what really goes on once the cameras are off. She also brings up the toll fame can take on an artist's mental health. Jaguar's tone shifts here. It's less angry, more reflective. She talks about how artists, especially young ones, can get swallowed up by fame before they even understand what's happening. According to her, the industry is set up in a way that breaks people down more often than it lifts them up. And for someone who's been through it herself, you can tell she's speaking from a place of genuine empathy. This section of the conversation is particularly revealing, as Jaguar talks about the risks she faces by being so outspoken. She doesn't pretend it's easy or safe. In fact, she acknowledges that her willingness to speak up has cost her professionally. But she also feels like she doesn't have a choice. There's a moment where she says something along the lines of, "If I don't say it, who will?" That's a powerful statement, especially coming from someone who's clearly been through the ringer in an industry that's known for chewing people up and spitting them out. Jaguar hints at threats she's received, mentioning that people have tried to intimidate her into staying quiet. It's chilling to hear, but it also underscores just how serious she is about exposing the truth as she sees it. For Jaguar, this isn't about revenge or getting even. It's about shedding light on an industry that she feels has been kept in the shadows for too long. One of the things Jaguar is quick to criticize is the so-called altruism some celebrities display. She talks about stars who are quick to jump on social issues or charity projects, but aren't nearly as genuine as they seem. For her, this is just another way for them to keep their public images squeaky clean. She mentions Oprah again, along with Beyoncé and Jay-Z, suggesting that some of their charitable efforts are more about optics than actual impact. Jaguar doesn't mince words here. She points out the contradictions between what these celebrities preach and what they practice. The way she sees it, their charitable personas are just another way of manipulating the public, keeping people from looking too closely at the things they'd rather keep hidden. She even says at one point, if they cared as much as they say they'd do something about what's happening in their own industry first. It's a blunt take, but she makes a strong point. Jaguar dives into some heavy allegations surrounding Diddy, Beyoncé, and others, touching on rumors and controversies that have been whispered about but rarely discussed openly. She talks about Diddy's alleged control over his circle and the length he'll go to protect his interests. She also delves into claims about industry practices that exploit young talent, describing a system that sometimes sacrifices the well-being of artists for the sake of money and power. This section gets pretty intense, and it's clear Jaguar has strong feelings about these topics. She stops short of making outright accusations, but leaves enough breadcrumbs for listeners to draw their own conclusions. It's a risky move, but one that gives the episode a sense of raw honesty. Toward the end, Jaguar's tone softens a bit as she talks about her hope for change in the industry. She mentions younger artists who are more aware of the pitfalls of fame and who seem less willing to play the game the way their predecessors did. For Jaguar, these artists represent a new era, one where transparency and authenticity are more valued than money or influence. She also talks about her own journey, about finding peace in speaking her truth, even if it's cost her. It's a powerful message, especially coming from someone who's clearly been hurt by the industry, but hasn't given up on the idea of making it better. For Jaguar, speaking out isn't just a way to clear the air. It's her way of fighting for a better future for the artists who come after her. Jaguar's candid conversation offers a raw perspective on the darker side of fame and power in the music industry. Thanks for tuning in to The Breakdown with Asher Stone. If this summary piqued your interest, make sure to watch the full episode linked in the description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more summaries about today's most intriguing podcast episodes.